All right. I want to do the recap really quickly. It's one day later because my phone died yesterday and I couldn't get to it all day. And so we did hot seats at the last meeting with the Academy of Creatives, and I love sessions when we do hot seats because it's really awesome. It's really personal. And even though one person is on the hot seat, everybody else benefits from taking in how we help we help people go through their challenge, and also how they help them go through it, right? Like we all benefit. And sometimes even if the problem isn't directly related to somebody's life immediately, it might be in the future, which was an amazing example with the first challenge that one of our members shared, that she had one of her posts go viral, and a lot of people reaching out asking her for what she does and how she can help, and asking her all these questions. And she answered a lot of them, but people just said thank you and they didn't really become clients, right? So we would raise your hand if you're a creator or a business person. Would you love to have a lot of people watching your post and asking you questions? Probably yes, right? And so she's dealing with this challenge that, like, okay, now I have the attention, but how do I convert it into clients? Because I'm not, making any money off of this still, and I want to get clients, but people are just not signing up. So what now? Some of the answers were, okay, well, gather information about them. Use this as an opportunity to gather information about your ideal clients, right? So as an example, ask them questions and see what questions are the most value-based, value-driven, right? And then you can write down these questions and create reels about them, right? And then create like a PDF ebook that you can sell to people based on like the most common questions, the biggest challenges with the info that you gather. And I absolutely love those. And I think those are great long-term tips. And my piece was, from a business perspective and like an immediate business perspective, these are absolutely wonderful answers, longer term. But shorter term, where she was really struggling here was that she didn't need to build out a course. She didn't need to start a YouTube channel like some people told her. Again, long-term, probably a good idea, but short-term, right now, I have all this attention, people are not becoming clients. What the hell is happening? Well, the gap here is between the conversation, right? So somebody reach out, asks a question, and then she answers, and then they say thank you, and that's it. So that's the gap. You need to be able to run the conversation in a way that they want to talk to you more, that they can find out that you have a service, that you have an offer, that you can help them a lot more, other than just asking answering one question in the chat, right? So it's up to us to carry that conversation through and convert this attention, convert the initial question into a client, or into a call and into a client, right? So Sam shared his awesome framework, ACA, for answering questions and replying to messages like this, which is you acknowledge, compliment, and ask, right? You acknowledge what they've said and acknowledge them. You compliment them on something that they've done, that they shared, and ask them a follow-up question, right? And so this is a great idea, a great strategy that works really, really well. Now the question becomes, what do I ask? What do I ask? And to that, it's very simple. A lot of people say, hey, you should follow a sales script, do this, do that. I don't really like sales scripts, but I like frameworks and I like steps, right? So step number one is really just connect over the question. And this can be really, really short, right? Just connect. Step number two, what you ask is you ask about their goals. Step number three, you ask them about their challenges with those goals, right? And step number four, you invite them to a call. That simple, right? It doesn't have to be, sometimes this might take a day, sometimes this might take 2 days, sometimes this might take a week, sometimes this might take 3 messages in 10 minutes and you can have a call booked in 10 minutes. But this is the framework that I used that helps me the most. You ask them about their goals, you ask them about their challenges, and you invite them to talk more about how you can help them solve their challenges. Simple as that, right? And then on the call, you can talk more about you can help them out a little bit, diagnose the real problem. Like what sometimes people will say that they have some kind of a problem, but us as experts, we know that their problem is actually deeper underneath there, so we can diagnose it properly and then offer them the solution to that real problem, right? That's really the key. And even if they don't end up buying, this kind of call is so valuable for them, because now they know what their real problem is. Whereas, let's say, for example, when people are starting a business or they want to start their content creation journey, they say, let's say, well, I don't have good equipment, so I can't make YouTube videos. Well, that's not the real problem. Your real problem is that you don't feel good enough, that you feel like your life isn't interesting enough to record it and to post it out there, that nobody would watch it. You have to overcome that problem, and then the technology part is like you can just use your phone. That doesn't matter so much, right? So there will be like external problems and internal problems. You help people diagnose the internal problems. So that was one hot seat, wonderful conversation. And I'm super excited for more of our members to ask questions like this, right? Like, hey, oh my God, I have all this attention right now. What do I do about it? How do I convert it into business? And by the way, you don't need that much attention. You don't, you don't need your post to go viral in order to use these frameworks to convert attention into clients. It can be just one person, just two people. It doesn't have to be, I think it was like 360,000 people watched that video, right? So using this framework, super powerful. And then the second question was a completely different topic on the hot seat. And this is again why I love these kind of sessions. And the question was, hey, I'm doing this career and I kind of want to change, and I have too many options for a new career path and I don't know what to do. I don't know which one to choose. And so we went around the room, and some of our members had really awesome tips and awesome feedback and ideas of what we can do to solve that kind of problem. We went from very extreme, like big, heavy, hardcore, to very lightweight and very awesome advice as well. So one of the pieces of advice was just spend 10 hours solving this problem. So take a journal, do research, do all this, and time yourself, like actually spend 10 hours on figuring out what your new career is going to be like. And if you do that for 10 hours, you will probably have a lot of insight, right? And maybe that doesn't have to be 10 hours, but it could be like 2 hours or 3 hours or 5 hours. So I thought that was really great advice. If you want to go all in to like make sure that everything is aligned, then spend 10 hours on solving that problem. We also touched on the idea of Ikigai and journaling about your ideal life in detail, in experience perspective, not just the career, but like what experiences do you want to have in life? And that idea, this ideal life, that vision helps you helps you choose the career path that you want or the new business that you want to start. And Ikigai is a really awesome concept. If you don't know about it, go search for it right after this video. It will help you out a lot if unless you want to join the academy right after this video, if you're not a member. And of course, very, very basic but powerful piece of advice: write out your pros and cons list to all of the different career paths that you want to do. And this was a piece of advice that I absolutely loved, because I believe that life is a video game, right? And sometimes we put so much pressure on the big decisions or the big moves and things like this, where in the end, it doesn't matter that much. So this was a piece of advice, like, amazing. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't pressure yourself to make a big decision within a week or within a month or so, right? Like, give yourself the time, give yourself the space. Don't put too much pressure. Make it fun, make it playful. And that way, like, life actually opens up better, different opportunities that you might not see before, because you're so stressed and pressured into making this decision that you don't see outside of the box. So if you let go of the pressure, you can see outside of the box and you can open up better opportunities. And it also just feels better. Like, life is meant to be enjoyed, not to pressure ourselves and not to stress ourselves out about decisions like a career path, right? It is a big, important decision, but it doesn't have to be so much pressure. It doesn't have to be so stressful. So, just understand that life is a video game, and that whatever you choose, you will be okay, and you can change eventually anyways, right? And then the last one, we had value-based decisions as a tip, right? Make sure that you understand your values. Make sure that you understand your beliefs consciously, like what's most important to you in life. That's what values are, right? What's most important to you in life. And based on that, that's where you will go and you will make a decision. And I think, again, absolutely lovely advice. So the core takeaway from all hot seats, and even in any other workshop and any other learning experience, or even a coach if you're working with, or community masterminds, is whatever, is what you want to do is you take what makes sense and you throw the rest away. And then you apply what makes sense. Right? So you don't want to just take in all this information and be like, okay, well, so much great information, so much great stuff. And I really loved what people said, but then you never actually do anything with it because it's too overwhelming, right? So there's so many, let's say for this second question, there's so many different pieces of advice, so many different things that you could do, but let's just stick to one. Okay, I really like this idea of Ikigai, and I researched it a little bit, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I just stick to Ikigai, and I do some Ikigai exercises, some Ikigai practices to help me figure out my career path, right? Or I really like don't put too much pressure on myself and just be playful with it. And so for the next week, I'm just gonna be playful with it and see what the universe shows me, right? So take what serves you, take what makes sense, and throw the rest away. You don't need to apply all of the advice that people give you. You don't need to apply everything that you learn. You need to apply that one idea that can change it all. And if you're not a member of the Academy of Creatives, but you want to turn your passions into online income, make sure to join us, because it's going to be really, really powerful, and I'm super excited to build this out as a vision. And if you are a member and you haven't been able to make it to the meeting, make sure to come, put it in your calendar, join us next time, because being on the meeting is so much more powerful than just watching these recaps. And of course, if you are a member and you've watched the recap as well, you're gonna make the most progress. You're gonna go the furthest. I'm super excited to help you and to see you grow. And my heart goes out to you, because I love hanging out with people who are serious, not just curious. Let's do this. Let's keep growing.